Hi everybody, it's Kelz again. I think we're on episode number 7. Today's going to be a little bit different. Medical cannabis users come from all walks of life. Today, amazing young man I met a couple years ago. Uh, a struggle, his story is for sure. How cannabis has changed his life. I hope you guys enjoy his story. Maybe we'll try to bring a few more to you. If anybody's interested in maybe telling theirs, let me know. I hope you guys enjoy.
My name is Mark Moore. I'm a medical cannabis patient, and I started my journey of recovery here at Kelz. I had a couple surgeries, and I was left with some limited brain function and partially paralyzed still from a tumor that was crushing my spinal cord, um, rendering me quite paralyzed. The doctors were all amazed that I was even walking and doing, I think being stubborn to a point is kind of beneficial in that way. But my mentality and my support system and these absolute rock star surgeons that did these 2 surgeries and saved my life and saved my ability to walk still wasn't enough. And I knew CBD was the answer. I was talking about it after the first surgery. I'd come across an article about a former NFL player who had a series of surgeries, injuries, a career of concussions, and all he was using was 3 drops of CBD oil a day. And I thought, if it works for him, it can work for me. Once I had finished the surgeries and been released from the hospital, I couldn't find this CBD oil. Everybody just was selling THC. Everything was THC, and it does have its benefits. Absolutely, it helped me get off the opiates, but I needed more. There was no education. There was no process like there is here at Kelz. This is interesting. As we're driving up to Saskatoon for the first surgery, I'm looking on my phone and a news article comes up. I think it was on Facebook. Anyway, a news article comes up, and it's about the first medical dispensary in Regina, and it was Kelly. It was this this wonderful woman with funky hair and smiling away, and it was about, she wanted full disclosure. Here I am. I'm here to help people. I'm not hiding. And I remember thinking, I gotta keep that in mind. I'm gonna need her later. And just with some of the brain, I don't want to say damage, but with some of the lack of brain capacity, I had forgot. And then all of a sudden, it just popped into my mind, and I got to find that place. That's when things really started to turn around. When I first came to Kelly, it was a very pale, very weak, run-down person hobbled in the door, and I was telling her everything I just said, and I'm looking for this CBD oil to hopefully repair, hopefully regain some feeling and under the tongue. I knew some basics, but she knew a lot more than the basics. And of course, she had the CBD oil at that time. It was it was exactly what I needed. I didn't have the money. I was left in a pretty bad way, and she didn't even hesitate then. She worked with me on every step of the way. I'm getting a little emotional. When I first came here, I couldn't feel my left leg, and I hadn't felt my left leg in over a year and a half. And I was hiding it from people, and eventually it got bad enough, and I had the surgeries, but it was still, that left leg was completely gone, and patches of numbness all around, all over my body from my chest down. Kelly sat down with me for, I don't know, a good half hour, if not more, and went through. She explained the endocannabinoid system to me. She explained how her medicine that she was providing at that time was going to work with my endocannabinoid system. And she took that fear away. I was so tired of having that psychoactive effect, that high from the THC, and the opiate addiction was well behind me. We're at a point where I don't need to be high, I need to heal. And she explained just how CBD oil works with the body to help that process. So I went home. I was really nervous, and I took 3 drops under my tongue, and I instantly felt this tension in my chest just release. All that anxiety, all that fear, instantly gone. Just this warm, calm feeling. And I thought, well, if anything, I have that now. And 3 hours later, I'm just sitting on the couch, as I've been doing for a long period at that time. And all of a sudden, I felt my left leg falling asleep. And I thought, what the heck? Why is my leg falling asleep? Oh my God, I can feel my leg. And now instantly I stood up, and I'm like, you want to like fall to the ground. You're so happy. But I remember thinking like, no, we got to stay standing and enjoy this. And I called my family, I called my friends. I'm crying, and I knew right then, I'm going to be okay. And that's because of Kelly and what she does here. And I've made a full recovery. When I was told I'll be partially paralyzed, or at least have numbness, likely for the rest of my life. I was told there were certain elements of pain that I would probably feel for the rest of my life. And I understand they prepare you for the worst. I understand that. But from where I had been to where I am now, I wouldn't have that without Kelly, without CBD oil. I walk, I kayak, I bike ride. I have my life back. I returned to work 6 months ahead of when I was supposed to return to work. I've amazed some people, and they've found no signs of paralysis, no signs of nerve damage anywhere in my body. My speaking is a lot better. My thinking is more fluent. I don't get confused as easily anymore. I'm myself again, and maybe even better. If there was that union between the medical world as it exists now and the medical cannabis community as it exists now, well, no, not as it exists now. There needs to be emergent. There needs to be a future. But if there was that union, and I was being treated with CBD oils in the hospital and regenerating the nervous system, if I was using THC instead of opiates and feeling some minimal pain, which we're meant to process, but still more capable and competent than on opiates, I believe that that's the future. I believe that that's a relationship that needs to be strengthened. I think it will. I think in our lifetime we'll see it. But it's people like Kelly that'll that'll bring that forward. It's people like Kelly fighting for medical cannabis and everything it brings to the table that will bring that relationship forward and together, right? I think that's her focus and it's her passion. And she says all the time, it's about the people, it's about the patients. That's pretty cool because everybody else is really focused on there's a monetary gain there, right? This new market, this untapped market. And she always says that's not the focus, it's the people. So to the patients, to other patients that are living in that stigma. When you start this journey, a lot of us experience this stigma. And that stigma, as it turns out, isn't your own. It's something that's been told to you and sold to you for a lifetime. And when you're told something is bad, something is wrong for a lifetime, it becomes ingrained in you. And so I understand your fear. I understand where you might be. But you don't have to get high. It doesn't lead to any sort of addiction. In fact, it's used to curb addictions. Look into it. Open your mind. Open your heart. And I would start with Kelly. That's where I started. I would start with Kelly. Talk to Kelly.